Hello, hello. Welcome to the basketball finals. Hello to my beautiful wife, our first lady. Welcome to our basketball finals. I hope everyone is doing all right this evening. Everybody is all excited about this basketball finals. So we got a good finals going on here. We hope everybody's doing all right and ready to get started. Hello to my cousin Shirley. God bless you, cousin Shirley. Good to see you this evening. Good to see you, cousin Shirley. My wife told me she couldn't see me. I didn't have my picture up there at first. You wasn't supposed to see me. Hello, Bishop Granberry. God bless you. Thank you for coming out tonight. God bless you, my brother. So all you see is a black screen. What's going on? All you see is a black screen. I don't know what's going on. Let me check my camera. My camera looks okay. I don't know. Camera says okay. Hmm. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. All you see is a black screen. Let's see what's going on with this camera. Maybe I need to change my camera. I don't know. Just turn the camera off. You see me now? Oh, okay. It's good now. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the basketball finals, as I said. All right. All right. That's good. Thank the Lord for that. We are all here and we're all ready to get started with these basketball finals. I hope everybody's doing all right this evening. Here in Chicago, we got our sweaters on. Some folks even got their coats on because this weather is a little chilly here in Chicago. But that's all right. God is still good. We just throw on some sweater. Peggy, she up there, she got a big old some cover throwed on her. That's all right. It's June, middle of June. Man, nobody but God could do this. But we're going to get ready to start as our players come out of the locker room. We're going to get started on this basketball finals. It was a good game last night as Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat gave it all, but they was a little daisier, you ask me. All right, they couldn't do nothing with the Joker, but we're gonna show them tonight how to play against the Joker. So we're gonna get ready to pull up our questions and get started. I hope everybody is doing all right. We're getting ready to get started on these basketball finals. So let's get ready to pull up our questions and get ready to head down the court and get this game to going. All right, and here comes our first question as we go. We're going to go down court side so we can get a good view of our players as they run down the court. We're going to go down the court side so we can get a good view of the players running up and down the court. All right, here we go. All right. All righty, there we go. Here comes our questions as we get ready to get started. Here comes our first question. Our first question said, where was Job from? We're coming out of the book of Job. These are the finals. We're coming out of the book of Job, who we are talking about this week. Where is he from? A, Uz. B, Syria. C, Jerusalem. Or D, Jericho. Where is Job from? Coming out of the book of Job. All right. Get ready to head down the court, and here comes cousin Shirley. Say he's from Uz. Down the court she goes with Uz, and she passes it to the first lady. And the first lady has it stolen by the bishop. The bishop goes the other way with Syria. Syria down the court, he goes with Syria, but here comes the first lady and steals it back from the bishop. And she passes it to cousin Shirley, back to the first lady with Uz. Job is from the land of Uz. Down the court they go with the land of Uz, and the bishop is trying to catch him. Can he catch him? Is this a slam dunk as the first lady passes it to cousin Shirley? Is this a slam dunk with Uz? She goes between her leg behind her back as she determined to slam it with Uz. Is this a slam dunk with Uz? That is correct. Way to slam it. He was from the land of Uz. Flying 360 slam on that one now. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question, saying, how many sons did Job have? How many sons did he have? A, 2, B, 5, C, 7, D, 10. Who's going to take off down the court on this one here? How many sons did Job have? As y'all take off down the court, as the players take off down the court, how many sons did Job have? And that goes our first lady. She says 7. Down the court, she passes this to cousin Shirley, back to the first lady with 7. Down the court, they're going with 7. Is this a slam dunk with 7 as they go down the court with 7? Can they catch him? Are we all in agreement, or does somebody see something different? How many sons did Job have? And she passes it back to cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley go between her leg behind her back, showing off her skills in this basketball final. She's showing off her skills as she go down the court. Is this another slam dunk? And she said slam it. She said slam it. Is this a slam dunk as she show off her skills? That is correct. Way to slam it. Flying 360 slam on that one now. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Way to slam it. He said, how many daughters did Job have? How many daughters? A, 1, B, 3, C, 6, or D, 8? How many daughters did he have? We're going to take off down the court on this one here. How many daughters did Job have? And there goes the first lady, takes off down the court with 3. She goes between her leg behind her back and passes it to cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley passes it back to the first lady down the court between her leg behind her back. She goes with 3. They said Job had 3 daughters. Down the court they're going with 3. And here comes Betty Jean. God bless you, Betty Jean. Good to see you this evening. Betty Jean takes off down the court with 3. As she goes down the court with 3, she going between defenders. She spins around, goes behind her back. Down the court, she's going with 3. Can she make it with 3? They're trying to catch her. They said slam it. They said slam it. They said slam it, Peggy. Betty Jean and Peggy going down the court. Can Betty Jean slam that ball? Can she slam it as she takes off down that court? Is this a slam? Betty Jean said 3. Is this a slam with 3? As she passes it to Pastor White. Good evening, Pastor White. God bless you. Good to see you, my brother, this evening. Betty Jean passes it to Pastor White, and Pastor White passes it right back to Betty Jean. Down the court, they're going with the 3. Cousin says, Shirley says, slam it. Pastor White comes in for the slam. Is this a slam with 3? That is correct. It is 3. Way to slam it on that one now. It is 3. Flying 360 slam. Let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Next question says, Job did this continually for his children. What did Job do continually for his children? A, prepared meals. B, offered offerings, burnt offerings. C, paid their bills. Or D, bailed them out of jail. What did Job do for his children continually? Who's going to take off down the court on this one here? What did Job do continually for his children? They said, go, Pastor White. Way to slam it on that one there. And there goes our first lady. Says he prepared burnt offerings. Daily he offered offerings for them. And she passes it to cousin Shirley. Down the court, cousin Shirley goes with offering. And she passes it back to the first lady. Down the court, first lady passes it to the pastor. Pastor go between the leg behind his back as he's showing off his skills. He goes between his leg behind his back. He's showing all kind of basketball skills. Look at the pastor go. He passes it back to the First Lady. The First Lady passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean go down the court showing off her skills. Pastor White said, "Hello, family," as Betty Jean passes the ball back to him, and he goes between his legs, behind his back, showing off his skills. Is the pastor going to slam it this time as he passes it back to Betty Jean? Betty Jean passes it back to the pastor. He goes between his legs, behind his back, showing off his skills in these basketball finals. Is it burnt offering? That is correct. Burnt offerings is the answer. Hello, Betty Jean. That is the correct answer. Way to slam it on that one now. All right, let's get ready to hit down the court with our next question. They said, take it easy on the court, Pastor White. Next question said, Satan said, if Job's substance were touched, Job would do what? A, fear God. B, fear Satan. C, worship God. Or D, curse God. What did Satan said? If you touch Job's substance, he would do what? Who's going to take off down the court? What would he do? Fear God, fear Satan, worship God, or curse God. Who's going to take off down the court on this one here? Who's going to take off down the court on this one here as our players are getting ready? Here they come down the court, and there goes Cousin Shirley, said, curse God. Down the court, she passes it to Pastor White. Pastor White goes between his legs, behind his back, showing off all his skills. He is determined. He is determined. Curse God. Down the court, he going with curse God. If you take away his substance, he'll curse God. Is that true, Pastor? The pastor said that is true. As he passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean goes behind her leg and between her legs and behind her back and passes behind the back pass to the First Lady. First Lady goes behind her back and takes off down the court with curse God. Is this correct? As we go down the court, she doubles and goes between her legs with curse God. But here come the Djokovic. The Djokovic is trying to take it from the First Lady, and she passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean takes off down the court. She takes off down the court, but Mary is on her tail end. Can she get away from Mary? And Betty Jean says, slam it. Can she slam it over the Joker? The Joker is all over Betty Jean. Can she slam it? And she slammed it on the Joker. Betty Jean slammed it on the Joker. Way to slam it. She slammed it on the Joker. Let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question said the saints were slain, and this happened to the asses and oxen. The saints were slain, and what happened to the asses and oxen? A, they ran away. B, they developed mad cow disease. C, the Sabaeans stole them. D, they had boils. Who's going to take off down the court on our next one? Who's going to take off down the court on the next one? Who's going to take off down the court? As the group is still in the huddle. They're still in the huddle. It's time to come out of that huddle. Time to come out of that timeout. And there goes Cousin Shirley, said they were stolen. Down the court she go with stolen. But then here come Betty Jean, said they had bars. The servants were slain, and the ass and oxen had bars. Cousin Betty Jean goes down the court with bars. She said the ass and oxen had bars after the servants were slain. But here come Pastor White, said they ran away. Pastor White goes down the court, takes it from Betty Jean with ran away. But then what did they say? Betty Jean changed and said they were stolen. But the pastor said, no, they ran away. Down the court with ran away. But here come Cousin Shirley, steals it from the pastor. Pastor steals it back from him. But here come the First Lady, steals it from the pastor with stolen. Pastor comes back again. He is determined. The First Lady steals it from the pastor with stolen. He passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean passed it back to the First Lady, back to Cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley passed back to the First Lady, back to Betty, to Cousin Shirley, to First Lady, back and forth. They going down the court with stolen. And she passes it to Betty Jean. Is this correct with stolen? Is the pastor able to steal it away from them? With ran away. Here come the Djokovic. The Djokovic is trying to steal it from Betty Jean. Betty Jean got the Djokovic all over. He passes it to First Lady. First Lady, the pastor gets with him. The pastor get with him. He goes against the Djokovic and passes it to cousin Shirley. And here comes Sister Glenzie Cummins out of nowhere. And she goes with stolen. Down the court, Sister Glenzie Cummins says stolen as she passes it to cousin Shirley. Back to the first lady, to Sister Glenzie. Back to the pastor who says stolen. The Djokovic is all over Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie go between her leg and pass it to cousin Shirley. Is this correct with stolen? That is correct. Y'all, way to slam it on Djokovic. Way to slam it on Djokovic. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question said, what happened to the sheep and the servants caring for them? What happened to the sheep? A, they were taken in a flood. B, they developed leprosy. C, the servants stole the sheep. Or D, they were consumed with fire. Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? What happened to the sheep? What happened to the sheep? All right, there goes the first lady, said they were burned up with fire. Down the court, the first lady going. But here come the Djokovic. The Djokovic is all over the first lady. Here comes some help. Here comes some help. She passes it to Sister Glenzie Cummins. Sister Glenzie Cummins go between her legs. Djokovic is all over. And she passes it back to the first lady, back to Sister Glenzie Cummins. The Djokovic is all over Sister Cummins. And she passes it back and forth between her and the first lady. The Djokovic is all over them. And Sister Glenzie passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean passes it back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the first lady, back to cousin Shirley. The Djokovic is all over cousin Shirley as she passes it to the first lady. Back to cousin Shirley, and here comes the pastor. The pastor helps him out. The Djokovic is all over the pastor. The pastor is struggling. He can't make it in. Is somebody going to help the pastor? The pastor is trying to make it in with burnt up. Can he make it? And he passes it to cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley go between her legs and behind her back and pass it to the first lady, who says slam it. Back to the pastor. And here comes Betty Jean to help out the pastor with the Djokovic. The Djokovic is all over Betty Jean as she passes it back to the pastor. All over. They said shoot a three-pointer. They can't get inside on the Djokovic. So they said shoot a three-pointer on the Djokovic. Shoot a three-pointer on him. So they passes it. And cousin Shirley go for that three-pointer. Is this a three-pointer? That is correct. She hit that three-pointer on the Djokovic. She hit it on him. She couldn't get inside on him, so she had to shoot it from the outside. Way to shoot that three-pointer on the Joker. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question says, they stole the camels and killed the servants caring for them. Who stole the camels? A, the Syrians. B, the Ammonites. C, the Moabites. D, the Chaldeans. Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? Who stole the camels? Who stole them? Who gonna take off down the court? Who stole the camels and killed the servants? Who stole the camels and killed the servants? Come on, who gonna take off down the court? They're still in the huddle. And here comes the first lady with the Chaldean. And she passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it back to the first lady. Down the court, first lady passes it back to Sister Glenzie Cummins. She go between her legs. Here comes the Djokovic. The Djokovic is all over Sister Glenzie. And Sister Glenzie passes it to cousin Shirley. Back to Sister Glenzie. The Djokovic is all over her. Can she make it? And she passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie back to Betty Jean to the pastor. The pastor is trying to make it. But here comes the Djokovic. Here comes the Djokovic. The bishop playing with the Djokovic. He stole it for the Djokovic. The bishop has stole it and going back the other way. He's for the Djokovic. But here comes Pastor White, steals it from the bishop and takes it down the court. He's trying to get away as he passes it to Betty Jean. Down the court, Betty Jean passes it to the first lady. But here comes the Djokovic. The Djokovic is coming at her. And she passes it to cousin Shirley, back to the pastor, cousin Shirley. Back and forth, they go down the court. The Djokovic is all over her. Can they make it? Can they make it in? The Djokovic is all over cousin Shirley. She passes it back to the pastor. Down the court, is this another slam dunk? Can they slam on the Djokovic? Can y'all slam on the Djokovic? Here come the Djokovic. He steals it. He goes the other way. The Djokovic got the ball. Betty Jean says slam it. Can they catch the Djokovic? Uh-oh, here come the first lady. She's doing not, no way, not today, Joker, not today, Joker. And here comes the first lady. She steals it from the Joker. And she passes it to Cousin Shirley, back to Sister Glenzie, back to the pastor. Back and forth, they going down the court. They said, not today, Joker, not today. Is this a slam dunk with the Chaldean? That is correct. Way to slam it with the Chaldeans. They said, not today, Joker. Way to slam it with the Chaldean. Not today, Joker. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Next question said, Job's children were killed by what? A, a flood. B, a wind. C, the Chaldeans. Or D, the Syrians. Pastor White said, hold that Joker. All right, who killed the children? And the first lady takes off down the court with wind. Down the court she goes between her legs with wind. She going down the court and she passes it to Sister Glenzie. And Sister Glenzie takes off down the court, but here comes the Joker. Here comes the Joker at Sister Glenzie. And Sister Glenzie passes it back to the first lady. And here comes the Joker and she passes it back to Sister Glenzie. And he's all over Sister Glenzie as she passes it to the pastor. Back to Sister Glenzie to the pastor. Back and forth they go and they pass it to Betty Jean. Here comes the Joker and Betty Jean passes it to the pastor, who passes it to Cousin Shirley, to the first lady, back to the pastor, Cousin Shirley. Back and forth they go down the court, they pass it to Betty Jean, back to Cousin Shirley, to the pastor. Down the court they go, back to Cousin Shirley, but here comes the Joker all over her and she passes it to the pastor. The pastor takes off down the court between him and Cousin Shirley. Can they make it in? The Joker is all over them. Back and forth they going down the court between the pastor and Cousin Shirley. Can they slam it with the Joker all over them? Can they alley hoop into a slam? They said slam it. Here comes Sister Commons in for the slam. Is this a slam? That is correct. Flying 360 alley hoop slam. Way to slam it on that one now. Alley hoop into a slam. Joker couldn't stop y'all on that one now. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Says, through all of this, Job did not what? He A, did not mourn or weep. B, tell anyone. C, sin or charge God foolishly. Or D, worship God. Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? Through all of this, Job did not do what? Mourn, tell nobody, sin or worship God. Who gonna take off down the court? There goes our first lady. She typing all over the place. She says Zan. I know what you're talking about, first lady. She trying to say sin or charge God. And she passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean takes off down the court and passes it back to the first lady. Down the court, they said, sin or charge God. And she passed it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie takes off down the court, go between her legs, behind her back, and she passes it to Cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley go behind her back and pass it back to Sister Glenzie. Here come the Joker. Here come the Joker. But here comes the pastor to help out Sister Glenzie. The pastor helps out Sister Glenzie. Here come Pastor White. As the Joker is all over him, he passes it back to Sister Glenzie, to the pastor. Here comes Betty Jean to help him out. But the Joker's all over them. And here comes Sister Knott Kennedy. Good evening, Knott Kennedy. God bless you, my sister. Good to see you. Sister Knott Kennedy comes to help them out. She comes to help him out. And she passes down the court back and forth. They're going between them all. Man, they moving pretty fast. They trying to not let that Joker get them as they go back and forth down the court. They're going back and forth down the court. I can't hardly keep up with them. The Joker is all over them. Man, the Joker is all over them as they go down the court back and forth. The Joker's all over them. And since they're not coming in for the slam, is this a slam? Sin or charge God? That is correct. She slammed it on the Joker. Way to slam it on the Joker. Flying 360 slam on the Joker. All right, let's get ready. Go in for, that's the end of our first half. That's the end of our first half. And right now, y'all are leading. Y'all are leading the Joker. So good game first half. Hello to everybody. Good first half. Welcome to these basketball finals. Y'all are doing pretty good. Doing pretty good that first half. Get you some water. Get you something to drink. Get you some rest because the Joker is coming at you this second half. He came at the Miami Heat and he beat them. So don't y'all let the Joker beat y'all, because he's coming at you. He's coming at you this second half. So get y'all a quick water break, and let's get ready to get started to head down this court this second half, because the Joker is coming at you. He is coming at you this second half. So we're going to get ready to pull up our questions for the second half. I hope y'all got some rest, got some water and everything, because the Joker is coming at you. He's coming. So you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. We're going to the second chapter of Job. The Joker, in this second half, the Joker is coming at you. All right, let's get ready to pull up our questions for the second half. So here comes our questions for the second half. Here's the first question. Says, the Lord called him a perfect and upright man. Who did God call a perfect and upright man? A, Moses. B, Job. C, David. Or D, Aaron. Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? Who gonna take off down the court as we begin this second half? The crowd is all excited, and there go our first lady, takes off down the court with Job. Down the court, she passes it to Cousin Shirley. Down the court, Cousin Shirley goes with Job. She crosses over the half court, and she passes it to the pastor. And the pastor takes off down the court and passes to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it to Betty Jean, who passes it to down the court to the pastor. The pastor passes it back and forth between Betty Jean and Sister Glenzie coming down the court, and they pass it to Sister Nat Kennedy. But here come the Joker. The Joker is all over Sister Kennedy, and she passes it to the pastor. The pastor takes off, and the Joker is all over him, and he passes it to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes it back to the pastor. The Joker is all over him. He passes it back to Sister Kennedy. The Joker is all over him. He's trying to take it from her. As she takes off, she passes it to Cousin Shirley. But here comes the Joker. The Joker is all over. She can't get inside. And she passes it down the court. She goes between her leg, behind her back. But the Joker is still all over. And she passes to Betty Jean. Betty Jean takes off down the court. The Joker covers her. And she passes it right back to Cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley tries to make it, and she can't. She has to pass to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy can't make it, and she passes it back to Cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley can't make it, and she passes it to the Pastor White. Pastor White trying to get past the Joker. He goes between his legs, behind his back, but the Joker is still on him. Pastor White can't get away from the Joker. He needs some help. The Joker is all over him. He's fouling him, pushing him, and everything. And the referees are not saying a word. That is a foul. But the pastor is hanging in there. Can the pastor slam it on the Joker? The pastor slams it on the Joker. Look at the pastor. Way to slam it on the Joker. The Joker was fouling him and everything, but the pastor still slammed it. Way to slam it, pastor. All right, that pastor showed off his skills. Let's get ready to head down the court. Next question says, Satan said a man will give all he has for what? A, his wife. B, his life. C, a piece of bread. Or D, a drink of water. Who gonna take off down the court? A man will give all he had for what? His wife, his life, a piece of bread, or a drink of water. And there goes our first lady, takes off down the court with his, she said give all he had for his life. She goes between her legs, but the Joker is on her already. And she passed it to Cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley passed it back to the first lady, but here comes the Joker. The Joker comes at her, and she passes to Sister Glenzie, who passes it back to Cousin Shirley, who passes it to the pastor. The pastor takes off, but here comes the Joker, and he passes it back to Cousin Shirley, who passes to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie back to Cousin Shirley to the pastor. Back and forth, they go back and forth between the pastor and Cousin Shirley, and they pass it to Sister Kennedy. The Joker is all over her. She takes off down the court as the Joker is all over Sister Kennedy. Can she make it? And she passes to Sister Glenzie, to the pastor, back to Sister Glenzie, to Sister Kennedy. But the Joker is all over Sister Kennedy again. She can't get through him, and she passes it to the pastor. The pastor can't get through him, and she passes it back to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie can't get by him. She passes it back to the pastor. The pastor passes it back to Sister Kennedy. She's struggling. The Joker is all over her. She is struggling. Down the court she goes, struggling. Can she slam it on the Joker? The Joker is fouling her. The Joker is pushing her. That is a foul. That is a foul Open court foul, but they ain't calling nothing. Can she make it? She slammed it on the Joker. She slammed it on the Joker. Way to slam it, Sister Kennedy. Slammed it on the Joker. All right, that's some good ball playing there, Sister Kennedy. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question, Satan said, if Job's flesh and bone was touched, he would do what? He would do what? A, curse Satan. B, worship Satan. C, curse God. Or D, worship God. Yeah, she pulled up on that one. She got him. She went up high. All right. What would Job do if you touched his flesh? If you touch his flesh, the first lady takes off down the court with curse God, and she passes it to the pastor. The pastor takes off down the court and passes it Cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley passes it back to the pastor. Down the court, she goes back to the first lady who passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie go between the leg, but here come the Joker. The Joker is all over Sister Glenzie. She passes it to the pastor. The pastor passes it back to Sister Glenzie. The Joker is all over her as she passes it to the pastor. And the Joker is all over him, and he passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy takes off down the court. She go between defenders. She passes it back to the pastor. Pastor passes it back to her. And she going between defenders. She passes it to Cousin Shirley. But here come the Joker. He's all over Cousin Shirley. She passes it back to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes it to the pastor who passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean takes off down the court, but the Joker is all over her. Can she make it? And she passes it to Cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley go between defenders. The Joker is fouling her. She said, here comes our first lady, sets a screen for Cousin Shirley to take it to the hole. She sets a screen and she makes an alley hoop to the pastor. What is going on here? They set a screen and alley hoop to the pastor, and what happened there? Way to slam it on that one there. First lady set a screen and they alley hooped it to the pastor. All right, man, that's some ball playing. That's team ball there, y'all. That's team ball. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Next question said, Satan smote Job with what? A, palsy. B, leprosy. C, lice. Or D, boils. Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? Satan struck Job with what? What did he strike him with? First lady takes off down the court and said boils. But right away, the Joker is all over her. She goes between her leg behind her back and passes Cousin Shirley. The Joker is all over her. The Joker's trying to win this second half, but she passes it back to Cousin Shirley to the pastor. The Joker's trying to take it. The pastor passes back to Cousin Shirley, back to the pastor who passes Sister Glenzie Cummings. Sister Glenzie Cummings passes it to Sister Knott Kennedy. Sister Knott passes it back to Sister Glenzie, to the pastor, back to Sister Glenzie. Back and forth to the pastor and Sister Glenzie. Down the court they go as they pass that ball back and forth to Sister Glenzie and the pastor, Cousin Shirley and Sister Glenzie. They going back and forth as the Joker is all over them as they go down the court back and forth. Can they get by? The Joker is all over them. As the pastor passes it back to Sister Glenzie Cummings. The Joker's all over Sister Glenzie Cummings. She go between her legs. He's fouling her. He's doing all kind of things. Okay, team, we got to trip that Joker. He's all over Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie needs some help. He's fouling her. The referee didn't even call a foul. He fouled her. The Joker fouled her, and they ain't even calling it. She needs some help. He's pushing her. He's elbowed her in the head. He elbowed in the head. They said, pull up for a three-pointer, Sister Glenzie. She pulls up for that three-pointer. Shit, that is correct. She hits a three-pointer on the Joker. Way to hit a three-pointer. Because the Joker was fouling her, and she pulled up and hit a three-pointer from half court on the Joker. Way to shoot that three-pointer. They can't do nothing about that. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. It said Job sat. He said Job sat where? On the side of a mountain. B, on a throne. C, among the ashes. Or D, begging for alms. Where did Job sit? Yes, sir, we're going to defeat that Joker today. All right. Where did Job sit? On the side of a mountain, on a throne, among the ashes, begging for alms. Who's going to take off down the court on this one here? And there goes our first lady, and she passes it to Cousin Shirley. Down the court, they go down the court. Here come the Joker. The Joker just elbowed the first lady in the head. She went to the ground. The first lady is down. Here come Pastor White to help her out. Here come Pastor White, and he passes to Sister Kennedy as he helps the first lady up. Sister Kennedy takes off down the court. The joker is all over. She passes it back to Pastor White. First lady said that ought to be a flagrant, but the referees ain't calling nothing on the joker. And here come Pastor White. He goes between the defenders and passes it to Betty Jean. Cousin Betty Jean passes it back to the pastor, who go between his legs. The joker comes against him. Right away, he passes Sister Glenzie. He pushes Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie go between them. She's trying to get away from him. He's all over. He's all over. He just elbowed her in the head. Down goes Sister Glenzie. He just elbowed her in the head, y'all. The referees ain't saying nothing. The referee ain't saying nothing. And here come our first lady. She passes it to the first lady, who passes it to Cousin Shirley, who passes it to Betty Jean. They said, slam it. Can y'all slam it? The joker's coming. Is it the Ashes? That is correct. Way to slam it on that one there. It is the Ashes. Way to slam it on that one there. The joker, they ain't calling nothing on the joker. But that's all right. Let's keep on down the court. Let's head on down the court with the next question. Said Job's wife gave him this advice. What did she say? Pray for the healing. B, repent for your sins. C, curse God and die. D, pray for mercy. Excuse me. What did his wife say? Cousin Shirley said it's time for a timeout. But no, the referee ain't paying you no attention. Cousin Shirley tried to call timeout, and the referee ain't paying her no attention. And here comes the first lady, said curse God. Down the court she go with curse God, and here comes the joker. The joker is all over her, and she passed to Betty Jean. Betty Jean takes off down the court, and she passes it back to the first lady, who passed it to Cousin Shirley. The referee did not recognize her timeout, and she passes to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie takes off down the court. Here comes Pastor White. Pastor White said, take him, Cousin Shirley. Take him. Down the court she goes with curse God as she passes it to the first lady. Down the court, back and forth with curse God as the pastor passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie back to Cousin Shirley. Down the fourth between Cousin Shirley, and she passed to the pastor. Here comes the joker. He's all over the pastor. He just knocked the pastor down. The pastor's on the ground. Can somebody help him? He gets it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie got it back to the pastor, who passes. The pastor takes off down the court. Betty Jean says, slam it. The pastor goes between the defenders. He passes it to Betty Jean. She trying to help him out as she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Can she make it? The joker is all over. He won't let her inside. First lady said, y'all are lightning now. But the referees ain't helping y'all out. Y'all playing against 6 players. It's 6 against 5. It's 6 against 5. Y'all need some help. Sister Kennedy is trying to take it in. She said, curse God and die. Curse God and die. Is that correct? She made it in. Way to slam it on the joker. Way to slam it on the joker. She slammed it on the joker. Way to slam it. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. I know we need a timeout, but the referees ain't giving no timeouts. They helping out the joker. All right, let's get ready to head down the court. Way to slam on that old joker. Next question said, Job said his wife spoke how? How did Job say his wife spoke? A, with the wisdom of God. B, as an angel. C, as a saint. D, as a foolish woman. What did Job say his wife? How did she speak? Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? And there goes our first lady, say as a foolish woman. Down the court she goes with foolish, as a foolish woman, and she passes it to Cousin Shirley. Back and forth they go down the court with foolish woman. Down the court they go with foolish woman, and she passes it Cousin Shirley. Back and forth they go. And here come the pastor to help him out. The pastor takes off down the court as he passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean takes off down the court and passes it back to Sister Kennedy, to Sister Glenzie. Back, she go between her leg, and the joker is all over her, and she passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean tries to take off, and she passes it back to Sister Glenzie, who passes to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy takes off down the court and passes it back to Sister Glenzie. back to Betty Jean. The Joker is all over her. She can't get past him, and she passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie can't get past the Joker, and she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy takes off down the court, and Cousin Shirley said, team up on the Joker. They teamed up on the Joker, and here come the pastor. The pastor had the Joker push the pastor down, and as he passed it to Cousin Shirley, whoa, First Lady blacked out, and they go down the court. Betty Jean said, foolish woman, down the court. As our First Lady is blacking out that Joker. She trying to block him out. She trying to block him out. They called a foul on the First Lady. They called a foul on the First Lady. Flagging on the First Lady. Can they stop that Joker? The Joker is going in for a slam, but here comes Sister Glenzie Commons, takes it from the Joker, takes off the other way down the court. Sister Glenzie took it from the Joker. Here they come at her. Here comes the team at Sister Glenzie. Can she slam it on the Joker? The Joker is on her. He's all over. Can Sister Glenzie Commons slam it on the Joker? That is correct. She slammed it on the Joker. Way to slam it on the Joker. Way to slam it on him. All right, let's get ready to take off down the court with our next question. Next question says, in all this, Job did not what? A, weep. B, sin with his lips. C, miss his children. Or D, look to God. Who gonna take off down the court? Cousin Shirley says she gonna give him a hard elbow this time. She gonna get him a hard elbow. And there goes our First Lady down the court with sin. But the Joker took it from the First Lady. The Joker took it. Here comes Cousin Shirley. Can she catch him? She trying to catch him. She catches it and passes it back to the First Lady. Back to Cousin Shirley. Back to the First Lady. And they passes it to the pastor. And down the court, the pastor goes with sin. But the Djokovic is all over him as he passes it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean passes it to Sister Glenzie Commons. The Joker is all over her as she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Back to Sister Glenzie Commons. Back to Cousin Shirley to the pastor. Back to Sister Glenzie Commons. Down the court to Sister Nat Kennedy. Back to Sister Glenzie. To Betty Jean. The Joker's all over her. They trying to get it to Betty Jean, but they can't get it to her. They got it to her, and she passed it to Cousin Shirley. Back to Sister Glenzie. The Joker's all over Sister Glenzie. She trying to get it to the pastor, but he's all over her. She can't pass it. Here comes the Joker, and she gets it to the pastor. The pastor takes off down the court, and as the Joker gets all over him, he passes it back to Sister Glenzie. First Lady says, shoot a 3-pointer on him, Sister Glenzie. Shoot a 3-pointer on him. She can't make it. The Joker is all over. She passes it back to the pastor. The pastor passes it back to Sister Glenzie, and she goes up for a 3-pointer. That is correct. Sin against God. She goes up with a 3-pointer from half court on the Joker. All right, let's get ready here down the court with our next question. Next question says, how many friends came to see Job? A, 2, B, 3, C, 5, or D, 10? Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? How many friends came to see Job? Right away, the Joker caught the inbound pass. The Joker had the inbound pass. He's gone. Can somebody catch the Joker? Here comes the First Lady. Can she catch him? She takes off down the court. She caught him. And she passes it to Cousin Shirley. Cousin Shirley passes it back to the First Lady. And the Joker is mad. He mad, y'all. He mad. He comes at the First Lady. Elbows her. She passes it to Sister Walker. Sister Betty Jean passes it back to the First Lady, who passes it to the pastor, to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it down the court to the pastor, back to Betty Jean. Down to the court to the pastor. Down and back and forth they go down the court between Sister Glenzie and the pastor. Back and forth they go down the court as they pass to Sister Kennedy. Down the court they're going back and forth, and the Joker is all over Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie takes off down the court. First Lady said that's a tech. But still, the referees ain't calling nothing. As Sister Glenzie spins around, pass it to Betty Jean. Betty Jean spins around, pass it back to Sister Glenzie. He's all over her with 3. The Joker won't let her go. He won't let her go. He's all over her. She can't make it through him. He's pushing her. Man, they ain't calling nothing. He's pushing her, beating her up. Joker needs to be ejected. The referees ain't calling nothing on the Joker. They ain't calling nothing on the Joker. Sister Glenzie spins around. Can she make this dunk on the Joker? They said pull up on him. They said pull up on him. They said pull up on the Joker. And Sister Glenzie pulls up. Is this a slam? That is correct. She pulled up and slammed on him, y'all. She pulled up and slammed on him. Way to pull up and slam on the Joker. All right. Way to pull up and slam on the Joker. And them question, man, that was the end of the game. Man, y'all did it. Way to end these finals on a slam. Y'all got that Joker with a slam. Way to end the finals with a slam. He was all over y'all. Sister Cummins pulled up. She got that slam at the end. All right, good game, y'all. Good finals. Way to beat that Joker. Miami needed y'all last night. Way to beat that Joker. Good game, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Way to go, team. Way to beat that Joker. Y'all have a good rest of your evening. Remember to trust the process and keep God first. No matter what you're going through, trust the process and keep God first. Thank you to you all. No, that old Joker don't play fair. That old devil never plays fair. That's his job. Whenever you up against him, always know he ain't gonna play fair. That's his job. Steal, kill, and destroy. Thank you to you all. Thank you, Cousin Shirley. God bless you. Have a blessful night. Thank you, Sister Glenzie Cummins. Great game. God bless you. You have a blessful night. My beautiful wife, God bless you. First Lady, Betty Jean, Johnny, God bless you all. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you for coming out. Pastor White, God bless you, my brother. You have a blessed night, you and your wife. First Lady Gail, God bless you all. Sister Kennedy, my classmate, God bless you not. Thank you for coming out. You have a blessed night. Sister Glenzie, have a blessed night. If I miss anybody, charge it to my eyes and not my heart. Bishop Granberry was with us earlier tonight, and we thank him for coming out and being with us earlier tonight. God bless you, Bishop Granberry. You have a blessful night. Thank you to you all. Remember to trust the process. Thank you, Betty Jean. First Lady says a fixed fight, and we've already won. That old Joker think he can win, but it's a fixed fight. Good game, everybody. Remember, trust the process and keep God first.